Larry Hoover coming home? Nah, not yet. So basically, Larry Hoover has two different cases that he was found guilty on in 1973. So Donald Trump has pardoned his federal charges, but we all know it's a separation of federal charges and state charges. And let me break it down for you. So the state of Illinois charged Larry Hoover in 1973 with murder and murder of an 18-year-old kid. They had wiretaps, they had snitches, had the whole nine, and everybody blamed Larry. So then, right after that, 2 years later, after he was serving his 200-year prison sentence, he was indicted again, but by the feds. And the feds called him a gang chief, a criminal, the head of a criminal organization. And then they also named him a drug kingpin, which he was given 70 years in a max facility prison by the federal government. So what Donald Trump has come to do, we're saying pardon, but what he has done is commuted it. He commuted it to around, I believe, 30 years, which he's already served. So if he only had those federal charges of being a gang chief and a drug kingpin, he could walk free. But he's still not going to be released because the city of Illinois, the state of Illinois, has considered him a murderer. And yeah, so let me break this down for you. So I'm going to switch to the big screen. There he is, Larry Hoover. So right now, Larry Hoover is free of all of he paid his debt to society on a federal level, but on a state level, he would need to get a pardon by this man here, J.B. Pritzker, who was also a part of the Democratic Party, the opposing party of Donald Trump. I don't know how that would work. But this is what Larry Hoover would need to walk free. He would need approval and a signature of J.B. Pritzker to escape and just go ahead and be free and let the GDs really be in the door. You know, I had a lot of people asking me to break this down, and I'm not really much of a talker. Y'all know I really just sit in the background all the time, but everybody really wanted me to break this down and speak on it. So, we got the shade room, and they also got it wrong. Did he pardon him? He actually commuted. So when you get a pardon, that's when the president or governor completely rips it straight apart, like NBA YoungBoy. It's like NBA YoungBoy never even committed the crime. But that's another topic for another video. Here we are. President Trump has pardoned the famous Chicago gang leader Larry Hoover, who has been in jail since 1963. Now, me personally, I'm not a part of his gang. I'm not affiliated, so this is an unbiased party. People who commit murders or people who set up murders, a lot of times they don't get 200 years. He's been in jail since 1973, so that's like 50 plus years. I did attend the Free Larry Hoover concert with Drake and Kanye in 2021 in November. Personally, if he did do a murder, I think that 50 years is more than enough time to think about what he did. And I believe it was one of those things, kind of like Young Thug, where somebody else did it. It was like an 18-year-old kid about selling on his block, something that you wouldn't even do. You could tell this is not by somebody who would create something as large as the organization he created. That was very small-minded. I don't think that he would send it. But you know how that works, those RICO charges. When one guy does it, they pick and choose who they want to lock up for it. But these are just my personal feelings. I'm not in any way connected to his gang or his organization that he created. These are just my personal feelings. Now, I want to run y'all through, because a lot of these blogs, they just like to tell you these headlines because they know most people going to read the headlines. But, we like to dive deep in it with TBG. So President Trump commutes. As you can see, this is ABC. He commutes it. So basically, he chopped the sentence down. There's 70 years, chopped it down to a point. Commuting, you can chop it down 10 years. But he chopped it down to a point where he could walk free. And now it's left up to the governor of Chicago once again. But we're going to read this here. So, President Donald Trump has commuted the sentence of notorious former Chicago gang leader. Gangster Decipher founder Larry Hoover was serving a life sentence at a prison in Colorado. He was convicted of murder in Chicago, then later convicted on several federal charges, as I told you. However, Hoover will still have to serve his sentence on state charges. Attorney Jennifer Bogine confirmed ABC 7 Wednesday that her client, Larry Hoover, is being granted clemency by President Donald Trump. The White House also confirmed ABC News the communication of the federal sentence. A judge once called Hoover one of the most notorious criminals in Illinois history. But in recent years, his attorney argued that Hoover, now in his mid-70s, has been rehabilitated. I agree. That argument apparently resonated with President Donald Trump, who commuted Hoover's multiple federal life sentences. Hoover faces the remainder of a 200-year sentence for a 1973 Chicago murder. While in prison for that murder, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep saying that word and monetize my YouTube. So let's just say mac and cheese. I don't know. Federal prosecutor said, however, one of the founders of the Chicago Gangster Disciples continued to oversee the gang. Prosecutors said he was an organizational genius and ordered murders, beatings, and slug deals while behind bars. He was convicted in 1997 and sentenced to 6 life sentences in the connection with those federal charges. Okay, I got it wrong. He got 6 life sentences. Where did I get 70 years from? But 6 life sentences in connection with those federal charges, and former lead prosecutor in the federal case. Ron Schaefer told ABC 7 he's disappointed Hoover received clemency. I believe in redemption. I believe in rehabilitation. I believe in mercy. There are some crimes that are so heinous, so notorious, that they're not deserving mercy, Schaefer said. Hoover still faces the remainder of a hefty sentence on the state murder conviction. Oh my God. I want to make money off these videos, man. So if y'all see me falling back, it's not because I can't read, it's because I'm losing money every time I say that word, man. But I'm new to this. Y'all stick with me. We're going to make this the biggest platform ever. Okay. So he would likely at some point be transferred to an Illinois prison, the notorious Supermax prison in Colorado, okay, where he's currently behind bars. So he will get transferred out of there. That's another thing I was thinking. I made this video before I even started reading the whole thing. So he's going to get just transferred back to Illinois instead of being in Colorado. I mean, another thing about Larry Hoover is he is in like maximum solitary confinement. Like he's not around people like in general population like you would think somebody, I guess like Tory Lanez or somebody. Nah, he's like in a room by himself, sometimes in a straight jacket, getting his food up under a table, under a door. So, I mean, with that being said, man, I don't want this video to be too long. I want you guys to completely understand what's going on here. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all think Larry Hoover, the founder of the Gangster Disciples, which is now called Growth and Development, do you guys think that he should be granted clemency? Do you think he's rehabilitated? Do you think he's truly been served mercy? Y'all let me know in the comments. AG with TBG Media.